I will talk you about some of my old projects that with the things I begin. There is the origin of the Bite of the Hyenas, but this is not it's related, but there is no the Bite of the Hyenas project. I will talk of that project and that plot on another video. But this video talks about a crossover called Fatal Fury cross Street Fighter or Street Fighter cross. No, there is no call it like that, but the plot is about Street Fighter versus Fatal Fury. But maybe you know this project about with the name of Glam Fighter. You look my videos and you know Glam Fighter. There is no. This game is not about beautiful girls. No. Yeah, I know the Glam Fighter name, but this project was intended to make in Mugen Engine, trying to make a connection of the Street Fighter characters and Fatal Fury. Not King of Fighters, please. No. King of Fighters, no, because there is too otaku game, too very mixed game of a lot of chairs, art of fighting, psycho soldiers, all that shit for made it a special masturbation of the mind. No. I'm trying to keep the roots, you know, the roots, like the roots of a plant. No, it's Fatal Fury because makes the childhood of a lot of us. Like Street Fighter is one of the original games. Because King of Fighters is a mixture, but this game is trying to move all the Fatal Fury and the Street Fighter to arcade like the CPS2 with the original themes of the original games. No new original themes is correct by me. No, a cover, a remix of the original soundtrack. But this game with I don't know how to tell this. This game with Spanish re-recorded dubbing, re-recorded voice acting. This is one of my old projects. But for example, this game, for example, instead of making the classical anime sprite design, for example, in the big portraits, the thing is that I want to make it with the render engine, with Das Studio and FaceGen, that you get the real face of a real actor, of a real people. For example, Byron Man of the Street Fighter movie as Ryu, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile, Ming Na as Chun-Li, and Kylie Minogue as Cammy. You know all the classic casting of the Street Fighter movie, but a lot of with a little change, like the big guy of Green Miles, the big black guy that made Kingpin in Daredevil movie, making as Balrog, like in the Legend of Chun-Li, the guy who played the role of Balrog. But for example, keeping some original new characters like the Fatal Fury casting, for example, this guy David Leitch as Terry Bogard, but obviously with all that actors with a good acting, because this is possible with the renders, with the video. Imagine developing a series and a video game series, but with the good acting of these fucking actors. But we dub it like the original actors of the games, mimicking the accent, the tone of the original characters, but with original created characters for this game, original bosses, not new protagonists, no new main characters. I'm talking about antagonists, villains, something made it only for making fear Terry and Ryu, something that makes cringe that guys, not cringe in shame, cringe of fear, man, fear. No. Me emocioné. I excited. No. But I have a lot of templates of Mugen characters, a lot of renders. For example, I have a 3D model of David Leitch, but with like 20 years, for example, for making more like Ryu. No, for making more like Terry Bogard, Byron Man, 3D model for making look more like the original idea of the Street Fighter planted, yeah, original character of the original Street Fighter 2. And I'm making a homage to Raul Julia, homage, paying homage, because if you read the history of Raul Julia, he do his best work playing the role of Bison, performing Bison. He doesn't look like Bison, but he smarts a lot. So the game, the DAS studio will paying a homage, paying a tribute to the M Bison, but with the face of Raul Julia. For example, this game will combine mechanics. For example, the thing that they move on planes of the stage, and like looking at third dimension, the alpha change bar of energy and all that shit. But for example, in CPS2, new designed Street Fighter Alpha looking type of design, but only on the fighting sequence in game, in the fighting characters, but the big portraits, the selection portraits will be the homage to that actors like I don't know. I will talk you about Mai Shiranui, that this girl that appears in the Fatal Fury commercials of SNES that you can find on YouTube. For example, in playing the role of, respectively, of Jackie Chan, like playing the role like Kung Fu. But this made it with the engine, the DAS studio, making the animation, the cutscenes, all that shit. I have all the soundtrack. If you have checked my Glam Fighter, I will give you a new life to make this game come to life. And thus, for example, I'm trying to make a Frankenstein thing for making Ryoyu Yamasaki that will be played the role. This role is played by Metal Slimer. For example, Vega, the role is played by Adam Atkins. Things like that. Vega. I will talk to you later because I'm very confused, and remember, the English is not my first language. The English is not my first language. My first language is Spanish.